classification of livers. Of course, we did the parts of the livers. We also introduced livers the other time in our first video. Today we are going to focus on classification of livers. Here I want us to, we will be going step by step, stepwise in understanding the classes of livers. Of course, we have three classes of livers. Under the classification of livers, we have three classes of livers. We are going to see how these livers can be categorized under these three classes we have. Now, before we can start by classifying different livers into their various classes, I want us to remind ourselves on some of the examples of livers we did mention the other time. Remember, we mentioned quite a number of livers and even some of the items that can be used as livers. And I did say that these are those items that we nearly have them at our dispensation, at our places, be it in school, be it in at our various homes, or even at the workplaces like the construction site. You will meet these levers, like the workshop, the carpenter shops. You will meet these levers. Now at random, let us just remind let me remind for you the example of these levers. We have a pliers, we have what we call a crowbar, we have a seesaw, we have a pair of scissors, we have a wheelbarrow, a spade. Those are examples of levers. We have tongs, that is the kitchen tongs. We have the bottle opener. We have the bottle opener is as one of the examples of levers. We have what we call the fishing rod. We have fishing rod. We also have brooms. We also have the brooms. Also, just to add on the list, we have the human arm, plus many others. Now class, let us try to see how we can categorize these example of these levers based on their classes. Right away, let us start by the first class. Under the classification, before we may continue, we have three classes of levers. We have the first class levers, we have second class levers, then finally we have the third class levers. Now, what I want us to see to look at is I want us to get to know how we can classify or identify a first class lever. How will you say that this particular lever is falling under the first class and this one here is falling under the second class, and of course this other one is falling under the third class? To start with the first class levers, levers class, I want you to pay attention learners, because it is very important. If you get this one right, you will not have any problem in this particular substance. Now, the first class levers, these are levers that have the fulcrum in between the effort and the load. The fulcrum is at the middle, in simple terms. Remember the fulcrum we talked about when we were discussing about the parts of the lever, where we said that we have three parts of the lever, and it is from these three parts of the lever that is going to help us to identify parts, to identify the classes of these levers in response to where the where the a given part is falling or a given part is relying on. Now, I've just mentioned here that if you want to identify the first class levers, the fulcrum is in between the effort and the load, or the fulcrum is in between the load and the effort. Load and the effort. That is all about the first class. Don't forget that the fulcrum is in between. That is for the case of first class levers. And examples of these levers that can be put into the first class levers. One of them is a pair of scissors. Class, we have a pair of scissors as one of the example of first class levers. Number 2, we have the pliers. Number 3, we have the crowbar. We have crowbar. And number 4, we have cloama. And when we are talking about the cloama here, we are not interested on when you are using the cloama on eating when eating the nail, but in contrary, we are interested on when you are removing nails from the timbers. That is when the cloama is being categorized into a first class lever. Now, let us look into the second class levers. Now, class, second class levers, these are levers that the load is in between the fulcrum and the effort. The load become in the middle of effort and the fulcrum. It is the load now becoming at the middle. of the effort and the fulcrum. Now we have the load in between here. Examples of such levers are wheelbarrow. As the main example, we have wheelbarrow. We have nutcracker. We have talk of wheelbarrow. We have the nutcracker. We have what we call the bottle opener. You know the bottle opener. For those who maybe must have walked into the restaurant and they request for the sodas, you will see those people using something to open for you the soda. That particular thing is falling under the second class. So those are some of the examples of second class levers. Of course, we have a number of, or we have other examples of levers that are falling under the second class. Now, let us quickly discuss on the third class levers, the very last class of levers. Now, here effort is in between the fulcrum and the load. Effort now become in the middle of the load and the fulcrum class. Now, examples of such levers that are falling under the third class, I want you to note that we have the fishing rod. We have the broom. We have broom falling under the third class. We have human arm. you have human arm, the human arm. Class, the other time I told you that there is a human arm, and it is here where we have the fulcrum here. Now the effort is somewhere here, then finally we'll carry a load somewhere here. So we will find that the effort is in between. The effort is in between, and the fulcrum is also at the further end. The load is also at the other hand, making the effort to be on the middle, or to be at the middle. So that is all about the classification of levers. What I want you to remember here, class, is the classes of these levers. I want you not to forget that we have 3 classes of levers. That is the first class levers, we have the second class levers, we have the third class levers. And on the same note, don't forget the various examples of these levers, examples of these levers, and the examples of these levers class, in terms of them being categorized into each and every classes. Don't forget that. Know the class of a lever and their examples, and you will be good to go. So thank you for watching, and once again, if you are new in this channel, please subscribe, like, share for more, and don't also fail to turn the notification bell, so that you will be notified when next we post another thing or another lesson. Then I will also please to tell you that in our next lesson we are going to discuss the uses of the levers, uses of these levers. Remember, we have talked of the levers and even the examples. Now we are going to, in our next lesson, we are going to see how these levers are useful. All right, now you can go and try this. I want you to go and add 3 more examples under each classes of levers. Remember all the examples that I've given. Then I want you to add 3 more examples under each classes of lever, and also draw and label some of these examples of levers. By so doing that, I promise you are going to be excellent. It is going to be nice, and you will not forget anything here. Thank you.